Hello everyone and welcome to the video. And in this one we'll be learning about functions in Python. And without further ado, let's get started. As you can see, I already have my program from last week's video open, and let's get into it. So functions are a neat way to do multiple steps of code in one line. It's kind of like your own unique code. So for example, let's look at this first thing here, this books.append, right? And this is all well and good, but maybe we don't want to immediately add books the moment we start a library. Instead, we want to not add a book, and then if we so desire, at some point say something like add book, and then we want to add a book. And that's what a function is. So in this case, let's make a function called add book that will add a book. So first we do write def, as you can see it's purple. Then we write the name of the function, in this case add book, and proper conventions that the first word should be lowercase and all afterwards should be capitalized, and then open close parenthesis and a colon. And then for the next line we should indent the line, and any other code inside this function should also be indented. So as you can see, if I were just to comment this all out for the time being, let's go ahead and quickly comment this. If I were to go ahead and now run this, you can see that if I print books, I only get these books. I have not added the Hunger Games yet. But now if I go ahead and run add book, whoopsies, just like that, and hit enter, and then look at my books, you can see that Hunger Games have been added right there. So that's cool, but what if we want to not add the Hunger Games? What if we wanted to add a different book? Well, this is where parameters come into play. So right now we're just adding a book, and by default it's adding Hunger Games. So we should add a input. Let's just say what book we want to add. And to add inputs, we simply write down the name of the input inside the parentheses. In this case, we can write down name of book. There we go. And now we can replace this with name of book. And let's also print out books, just for the sake of debugging. Go ahead and hit run again. And as you can see this time, if I do add book, we have to write down the name of the book inside this function. So let's, in quotation, let's add Harry Potter, why not? As you can see, Harry Potter has now been added to our books. And we can add another book. We just go ahead and add book, and this time let's add the Hunger Games back. Whoopsies. There we go, and now you can see that the Hunger Games have also been added. So this is great. Now let's copy this with remove book. So we can uncomment that and def remove book, and book to remove will be our input. And we want to remove the book to remove. So we can replace this with book to remove, just like that. So now if I were to run, you can see that we can go ahead and add a book. And let's just call it book 1 for now. And book 1 has been added. And we can go ahead and remove book. And let's go ahead and remove book 1. Just like that. And now, print books quickly, and you see that book 1 is now gone. Great, so that's inputs. And now let's talk about outputs. So in this case, in our accessing book function, we're trying to get a book. So let's write down quickly def get book, and then the name of book can be our input. And now in this case, we can print out the book that we want, but sorry, not a name actually. That's not correct. We want the index of book. But then let's go ahead and we want to in this case, if I were to run get book like that, and then let's just do 1, I would get a print statement. But what if I want to actually know? What if I want to make a variable? I want to say book 1 is equal to get book 1. I want this to be equal to a number. I want to actually get the value of the book. And that is where the return statement comes in. Delete that. And to this, just write enter and just write return. And then we can return books 0. Oopsies. And let's replace 0 with index of book. And same thing there, index of book. Cool, so now if I go ahead and run this, you can see that if I were to get book, let's get book 0, I get To Kill a Mockingbird. And not only is To Kill a Mockingbird printed, but the value To Kill a Mockingbird also returned. So if I were to get a variable, let's call this book 0 name, I can set equal to get book. And if I print out book 0 name, see that book 0 name is To Kill a Mockingbird. This function has told book 0 name what the name of book 0 is. And we can of course do other books so that we can get book 1, and this is The Old Man and the Sea, and we can get book 2, and that is The Lord of the Rings. Great, so now let's repeat this with removing books. So let's go ahead and make a new function. Let's call it def remove index. And then we have the index to remove. And we can go ahead and just do books.pop and change the 0 to index to remove. Great, so as you can see, we now have 4 functions which add books, remove books, get books, and remove index. The last one we have here is insert a book. This one's interesting because in this case, if I just go ahead and do def insert book, we in this case have 2 inputs. Either A, input the place where we should insert the book, and B, input the name of the book. So to get both inputs, it's very straightforward. Start off, let's get our index, and then a comma, and then name of book. This is a very simple way we can now get both 2 parameters. And we explain since we want. If we wanted 5 parameters, we go ahead and just do more inputs. Do like input 3, in out 4, so in out 3, in out 4, just like that. But we only want 2 here, so with that, hit tab, and set this to the index, and set this to name of book. And cool, that's that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.